Hey everybody. I just got out of a meeting with a lot of leaders of companies for the chamber board meeting, and I wanted to record this because I realized just it was clearly identified that with businesses going through all the challenges they are right now, that they need some clear priorities. Right? You have just an immense amount of things on your mind right now. There's a lot of challenges going on, and unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation around some of these programs that are available for businesses. And I think it is critical that you understand these programs because they will impact the decisions you make. And I think businesses that don't take advantage of these programs right now are going to be at a disadvantage in the next couple months as we recover. However, if you take advantage of these programs, you could potentially come out of this stronger than you were before. And I want to make sure that you have every advantage and opportunity that you have at your fingertips to do that. So I'm going to literally walk you through two main priorities that you should be focusing on right now around the CARES Act and the assistance that it provides for small businesses. So now I'm going to be talking a lot about the Paycheck Protection Program. But before I dive into that, because it's not available to apply for until Friday, April 3rd, and that's the date that the federal government says it should be available, but it is the federal government, so it might be Monday. I want to start with the very first step that you should take, and that is applying for the economic injury disaster loan. It's the EIDL, Economic Injury Disaster Loan, and loan advance. The loan advance is the key part. So you'll see right here, you can actually just go to sba.gov/disaster, right? You can go to that. It'll direct you to this page. It'll direct you to the home page where you can click on this big Apply for Assistance button. And it will take you into the page specifically talking about the EIDL. This is the first step that you need to take as a business. And I would say 99% of you need to do this exactly right now after watching this video. Okay, probably 99% of you. As far as who qualifies, it's very broad. It includes basically anyone for businesses under 500 employees, nonprofits, S corps, corporations, LLCs, sole proprietors. There's even independent contractor side, which I haven't dove into as much, but that's an area as well. So what this is you're technically applying for a loan. But what I would suggest you do is there's a checkbox to say to get the $10,000 advance. The $10,000 advance, which they say will be deposited into your account within 3 days. We'll see. That'll be probably tomorrow for me because of the online rapid application that I'm going to show you to fill out just became available this weekend. Other than that, it was print applications before, and it was a pain. This is going to take you maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes if you don't have the information available at your fingertips. So I'm going to walk you through this, and I want you to look at this. It's very simple. You are applying for a loan, but it's not. It doesn't matter whether you get approved for the loan or not. And honestly, it doesn't matter necessarily if you have bad credit. There's a lot of different factors that are just waived as part of this loan because of the nature of the situation. So the main thing is to here's the link where you would apply. The main thing is that this money needs to be used for approved expenses. Payroll. So you're basically saying that you have been impacted by the coronavirus. Your business is experiencing, is being impacted or expected to be impacted by this, and that this money would basically go towards payroll, rent, and some other expenses. So when you click on this link, it will take you to this application. It's very quick. This tells you who is eligible. Applicants is a business with not more than 500 employees, right? An individual who operates as a sole proprietor without employees or as an independent contractor. Cooperatives, ESOPs, tribal agricultural applicant. And then there's nonprofits down here. So if you're a nonprofit, you can apply for this as well and get $10,000 grant that you don't have to pay back. And then you basically go through and review and check the following. You just need to, say that you're not, engaged in any legal activity and things like that. I'm not going to walk through the process right now, but basically then you're going to put in your business information. You're going to need your EIN, so your tax ID number, the business owner's information. So you need to put in there, if you're filling this out for someone, you're going to need their social, how much percentage they own of the company, things like that. And then you're basically, there's a checkbox that's very important that says the $10,000 advance. And then you're going to put in your banking account information, your routing number and account number and bank. And you're going to want to check that. This literally takes 15 to 20 minutes. You should complete it right after you watch this video. And because there is a limited amount of funds available for this, and there's millions of businesses in the US. So once this runs out, there's not going to necessarily be any more. Now, big disclaimer, so I'm not an expert on this, but it appears I having done this and having advised a number of businesses on it, I have a pretty good understanding of it. So let's just leave it at that. Make sure you do your own due diligence and everything like that. But from what I've seen, if you go through this and get approved for this and get a loan, you can actually just refinance that into the Paycheck Protection Program, which I'm going to explain to you next. So I know that can get a little confusing, but you don't even have to get the loan through this. You can just get the $10,000 advance and say no to the loan. But if you want to move on and do the Paycheck Protection Program, which I'm about to show you next, then you can say yes to this loan and then just turn it into the Paycheck Protection Program loan that is should be available for. You can't apply for that yet. It'll be April 3rd. Friday, April 3rd is what they're saying that you can do that for. So trying to think of any other questions you might have around this program. Make sure if you document what you're using the funds for. So, and there is some retroactiveness to it as well. So if you have expenses that are already gone towards rent and payroll, things like that, there is some retroactiveness to it. It's straightforward, and everyone should apply for it as soon as possible. The next program I want to talk to you about is the Paycheck Protection Program. Paycheck Protection Program. This is part of the CARES Act, which is a huge act, more than $349 billion for small businesses. And so this is a separate program. The broad overview is that you're eligible for a loan up to 2.5 times your average monthly payroll. And there's a list. I'm going to show you some documents that kind of go through frequently asked questions, talk about what's included, what's not included as you prepare for getting ready to do the process this Friday. But the loan proceeds are used to cover payroll cost, okay? Most mortgage, rent, utility costs over an 8-week period. So you have to use it within 8 weeks after the loan is made. And then a big part of this is that the number of employees that you have or had, the benefit of this, the amount that will be forgiven, will be directly related to the number of employees you keep on. And if you decrease their salary or compensation by more than a certain percentage, the amount you get from this would lower as well. So it's important that you understand those specific details, because if you just think, hey, I'm going to get this program, and you've laid off some of your employees, you'd probably want to bring them back on, and this would most likely cover their payroll expenses and a lot of other expenses for you as well. And honestly, this is my perspective. Some people, are in fear-based mode, or I'd say they're making quick decisions, right? You have a lot going on, and they're saying our revenue dropped by X. We have to cut expenses by X, which is a common, scenario right now, unfortunately. And what they look at is, okay, well, we have to lay off employees. What this program does, because down the road when you go back to hire those employees, not all of them are necessarily going to come back, and how much time and work you put into training and bringing on those employees and the culture you've built and everything is so important. So I would recommend is using this program to retain those employees. There's a chance that you'll have more time available for your employees as far as the work that they're doing. Use that to level up during this time. I'm not going to spend too much time on that because I want to focus on this program for you. But that's what I would do from a strategic standpoint to make sure that you come out of this even better than a lot of businesses who don't utilize this, right? You're going to be at a strategic advantage if you have the manpower and the creativity to go out there and really help during this time with more people and have a bigger impact than if you have to scale back and everybody's doing more than what they're normally used to and they're stressed and all that kind of stuff, right? So, but if you have more people, you can position yourself better to come out of this and recover at an even better position. So that's my pitch on that. There are some stipulations, like if you have highly compensated employees, it's capped at over 100,000 as far as annualized annual income for that employee, and then due to so it says not more than 25% of the forgiven amount. Which what you're going to do is after that 8-week period, you're going to apply for loan forgiveness. So you would do that with a bank. So that's what this is so you can apply. You're supposed to be able to apply this Friday, April 3rd. Small businesses, sole proprietors can basically receive loans to cover their payroll and other expenses through existing SBA lenders. So if you have a lot of banks are SBA lenders. So if you have a bank you work with, then there's that. There's also a list of borrowers on the site. So you can see right here, there'll be more information on this site as well. And I'll include all these links in this information so that you have quick links and access to all of this info. And then it says on April 10th, independent contractors and self-employed individuals will be able to apply to receive loans to cover payroll and other certain expenses. Okay, so that's an important stipulation that a lot of people aren't necessarily aware of, is that distinction if you're in that spot. And then other regulated language. Yeah. So as far as where you can apply, depending on your lender, they may have an online application. My hope, obviously, they're trying to fast track everything. My hope is that there'd be an online application. If there is, I'd highly recommend doing that over going through a paper application process. You're going to, it's going to be a lot easier. The example application. So I'll show you on the SBA website. So you can, the link to find this program isn't, it's under, they still haven't, oh, there it is. So it's under funding programs and then Paycheck Protection Program. It'll get you to this link. And so it'll have a lot of this information as well, as far as who you can apply, all the different details around the specific program, deadlines, and things like that. So it's important to understand that you're not you're going to need to document everything, right? So 2.5 times your payroll. You'll want to get ready. You'll want to look at basically 2019's payroll, what you paid for in average expenses. Look at the I'll give you this sheet that I'm looking at here as far as how to calculate that and how to determine the amount that you would be is basically as a forgivable loan. Now you can get a higher loan, but this is the amount that is forgivable. As far as what you're going to need to apply, that's one of the main thing is to have that information available. You won't really need to provide the nice thing about this program is that it there's a lot of different things that have been waived. Like, so if as far as like having to, you have to have, I believe you have to have one of the following, either showing the ability to repay, but if you don't have the ability to repay and you have good credit, get that. Or I think there's one third thing, which I'll find that and mention that in a second as well. So You can use the loan for payroll costs, including benefits, so like health insurance, etc., interest on mortgage obligations, rent, utilities, and then it explains what counts as payroll costs, what you should include: salaries, wages, commission, tips, employee benefits, state and local taxes, etc. And it gives some specific details around sole proprietor as well. And then it talks about how large your loan can be. The loan can be up to $10 million. It is different now. So there is some, like if you're a seasonal business, there are some, some nuances around that. So you can look at that. And then it talks about how much of my loan will be forgiven. So it says you will owe money when your loan is due if you use the loan amount for anything other than payroll costs, mortgage interest, rent, and utilities payments over the 8 weeks after getting the loan. Okay. Yeah. And again, good there. The key point I want to reiterate is that the number of staff that you have, number of FTEs, full-time employees, the forgiveness amount will be reduced if you decrease that period of time, if you decrease your level of payroll, etc. And then you also, for those people who may have had layoffs or something like that, you have until June 30th to restore your full-time employment and salary levels for any changes that were made between February 15th and April 26th. Okay. And then this goes into how you can request loan forgiveness and interest rates, everything like that, as far as the loan package. One thing that's interesting is a personal guarantee of the loan is not required. So it doesn't require you to personally guarantee the loan. You're basically just going to certify that current economic uncertainty makes the loan necessary to support the ongoing needs of your business, and that the funds will be used to retain workers and maintain payroll, covering lease and things like that. So that program, I'll include some details and links where you can get more information on that. This document as well, which has the Treasury and the SBA just put this out, like a lot of frequently asked questions as far as when you can apply and what it is used for. That whole thing, I'll include that in there as well. First step, get the $10,000, fill out this application. Right after you get off this, complete that information. Get the $10,000 advance, and then Friday, when you're looking to move forward if you are looking to move forward on the Paycheck Protection Program, look for information to come out around how to apply for this on this coming Friday, April 3rd. Wish you the best in business, and my whole goal is to help as many businesses as I can during this challenging time. I'm happy to jump on the phone. I've sat and brainstormed with a number of people and just helped them think about, right now is the time you have to innovate and think differently and really understand what the opportunities are. Because, if you have competitors, we're all on a level playing field. We all have similar challenges, right? And so for you, it's important that you understand that and realize what you can do to make sure that you come out of this in a good spot, right? And, so when I say competitors, obviously, some people think of that negatively. I am grateful for all of the people in our industry. They're often our peers, and they make us better. And so it's important that you understand that, yes, they're competitors and they push each other just like in a sport, and you want to beat them. But at the end of the day, you got to be grateful for that person, that company that helps push you to be the better version of yourself. With that, if you have any questions, I'm happy to do my best to follow up and help. I'm happy to brainstorm with businesses. I am spending the majority of my time with our current clients, but I do have a couple times a week open to just help any business that I can. So with that, have a great day, and talk to you soon.